Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to my first ever segment called Love It or Drop It, where basically I do an anime impression based on the first 3 episodes of the show, where I talk about all the positives and also the negatives of this show. This anime, up to this day, I've watched 9 episodes of this show, and apparently, according to Anime News Network, this anime is in the top 100 worst rated animes of all time. There's a part of me, though, where I can understand why they hate this anime, but also a part of me feels like I'm thinking to myself, how could they hate this anime? Well, we will find out. I'm BaachiJoe of the Otaku Nation / anime lovers, and this is a Love It or Drop It on Wanna Be the Strongest in the World. So the story starts off with a bunch of people in a very popular idol music group called Sweet Diva. I know, idols and wrestling, how does that mesh together? Where 2 characters from Sweet Diva, Sakura and Elna, were giving a TV gig where they get to learn wrestling moves. But comes a professional pro wrestler named Kazuma, having to see that these 2 were underestimating wrestling. She comes in where she quotes that the idol group of Sweet Divas are nothing but a bunch of bimbos. With both Sakura and Elna learning how tough and painful wrestling really is, Sakura decides to prove others that they are just not a bunch of attractive women, so she decides to take a career in pro wrestling, becoming an idol wrestler. The first thing you see right at the start of the show is some right-on fan service and innuendos. And one of the problems that the show has is the fan service that happens in the show. Now, I'm a wrestling fan myself, and normally a lot of promotional wrestling shows have fan service. Why? Because sex sells. So honestly, the fan service in the show doesn't really bother me at all. But however, I can see where the show takes it a little too far, like the multiple glorious crotch shots. And by the way, that animation, those crotch shots, seems like they have a gigantic vagina. And also, they do have some wrestling moves that seem a little explicit, where I can see why some people might be annoyed by that. Another reason that this show gets the hate is the constant screaming and moaning in this show, where I could see it being uncomfortable as the screaming sounds more like a chick is in its final climax of sex, or coming for that matter. The music isn't that great in terms of being memorable, but for what the show brings, it is okay. The songs from the idol group aren't that great in comparison to many other idol songs I've heard, like the AKB 0048 or Love Live. The animation is okay in some parts, but when it comes down to the background, like the crowd scenes, it almost looks like no effort was put in, like the background was created from a PlayStation 2 game. Seriously, look at it, it makes me cringe. Even though the show had many flaws, this show still had some good, positive stuff that the show brings. Like how the show feels like you're watching wrestling, from their entrances to the action in the ring to giving out promos. This anime did a wonderful job of keeping the theme of wrestling. The wrestling moves that they implemented in this anime were fantastic, as nothing was really overdone, and the wrestling moves that this anime has are like the wrestling moves that you see in an actual promotional wrestling show. This show has a decent storyline, where we see Sakura show everyone that even a member of Sweet Divas can pack a punch, but seeing her development takes time and patience, as the first 3 episodes will make you cringe, and sometimes angry due to the fact that it really does take a lot of time for her to get it going. But when she finally gets that development, it's really worth it afterwards. This show to me is pretty decent at best, as this show contains a lot of flaws where the music is just okay, the animation could be cringeworthy, and also the uncomfortable screaming that this show has. But with that being said, this show had everything that everyone expected it to be, which is the theme of wrestling, and they did a good job and consistently in every single episode keeping wrestling the main idea. You guys should like this anime if you like wrestling. They really did a good job in consistently keeping wrestling the main idea in every episode without drifting off to anything else. A decent storyline and character development. It takes patience, but this anime so far did a good job at keeping the storyline entertaining, and also slowly but surely developing the main character well. And also if you're very patient, because the show is really slow at the start, so if you can go through the grind of cringeworthy stuff that happens, then this is the show for you. Drop this anime if you hate the screaming, crotch shots, and fan service. All of those 3 play a big part in this anime to the point where these 3 could get very annoying. And lastly, this show is very slow from the character development to the start of the first 3 episodes. So if you're that type of guy that has a short spam attention, then this is not the show for you. Thank you guys for watching my first ever Love It or Drop It here in the Otaku Nation. Please subscribe to the channel for more anime reviews, reactions, let's plays, and all the many cool stuff that happens in that wonderful channel. You can watch Wanna Be the Strongest in the World on Crunchyroll.com, where you can sign up for a 2-week free premium membership and get all the premium services that happens in that wonderful website. So please sign up. If you guys missed last week's video, I also did a reaction on Golden Time, where I reacted to one of my favorite animes of this season, Fall 2013. And you can also check out my review on Sword Art Online, where I reviewed one of the most popular animes of 2012. I'm BaachiJoe saying, peace out. Pow!